Hello, and thank you for joining us today for EarthEcho's STEMExplore virtual field trip. STEM Girls Just Want to Have Fun, How Biology Helps to Build a Better World, featuring Violeta, Anaya, Zamora from Minera, Madura, Luna, TorexGold Resources in Mexico. Greetings, everyone. My name is Casey Gaylord Opaleski, and I am the STEMExplore coordinator at EarthEcho International. We're so excited to have students from all over the globe and a STEMExplore mentor from all over the globe joining us as we learn about STEM careers. This live event is part of STEMExplore, EarthEcho's newest program that brings relatable voices to life, and we're taking inspiration to access by telling the stories of dynamic women in STEM careers during these live virtual field trips. We're excited to bring STEMExplore to life thanks to the support from our presenting sponsor, United Technologies. You can explore a number of STEM careers as well as tune in for upcoming live events like this one at EarthEcho's STEMExplore website, STEMexplore.org. Now, I'd like to recognize and thank STEMExplore's 5 partner sites across the country and recognize those that are joining us today. First, let's get a hello from our site at H Conley. They're with our partners Love a Sea Turtle in Greenville, North Carolina. So, how is everyone doing at H Conley today? Hello, everyone. It is wonderful to see you out there in North Carolina. Thank you for joining us. Now let's hop over actually to Charlotte, North Carolina, to our friends at Mehcad. How is everyone doing today? Wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies. Now let's also hop on over to, or hop north to Hartford, Connecticut, to our friends with the YWCA at Windsor High School. Hello, everyone. Hi. Great. Wonderful to see you all. Thank you for joining us. Now, we do have 5 STEMExplore partner sites all across the country listed here, and we're so excited for their participation in this wonderful program. Now, we also love participation from all of you out there that are watching live. You can participate and ask questions as well if you're watching one of the live streams, either on EarthEcho's YouTube channel or STEMexplore.org. If you're watching on YouTube, simply use the chat space that you see either to the right or below your viewing window. If you're watching directly on EarthEcho's STEMExplore website, use the link that says submit questions on the top of your viewer. Now, we do want to apologize. We are having a little glitch with our STEMExplore website, and you will not be submitting questions to Sierra Pullman, but rather to Violeta in Mexico. But if you click on that link, that will get you to the form for you to submit your questions as well, and we'd love to hear from you all out there watching. So please go ahead and post questions now or at any time during this live event. We'll actually be answering questions throughout the event and have set aside more time at the end for additional Q&A. So without further ado, let's get started. I want to welcome our very special guest for EarthEcho's STEMExplore virtual field trip today, Violeta Anaya Zamora. So good afternoon, Violeta. How are you doing?
Hi, Casey. Hi, everyone. I'm so good. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Excellent. We're so excited to have you here with us today. Violeta, can you tell us where you are coming to us live from?
I'm at my office, but my offices are located in Guerrero State at south of Mexico.
Excellent. Wonderful to have you here. We're so excited that you could join us today. So just to kick things off, why don't we go ahead and allow you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background and your career path?
Sure. Let's go. Well,
see, they've got
everyone can hear me.
And you can go ahead and get started, Violeta.
Okay. So, well, I'm going to tell you something about my journey as a biologist. So, in this moment, you can go for some snacks or popcorn or whatever you want to hear my story. So, let's go.
Right.
Well, as many girls, I have a lot of thoughts, or I was so confused about which career I should choose for my future. So all the time we are so confused about our future. So in this try to find a career that I should choose, I was thinking maybe I could be a lawyer, but I realized that maybe be a lawyer, it could be a little bit boring for me because I like the nature all the time. I was so happy being in at nature. So, okay, I dismissed that option because being a lawyer for me was a little bit boring. So I thought that maybe I could be an engineer, but I don't know. I didn't know what kind of engineer I could be. So I start to think again, and the time more close every day. So I start to get a little bit stressed about that. But also I like a lot to cook. I love to be in the kitchen and prepare some food. So maybe I could be a chef. This could be a nice option. But I have a lot of doubts, and well, I also thought that maybe it could be a teacher. I like to show to the people how the things works or how the things are made or that kind of thing. So maybe be a teacher could be an option also. But I love animals, so maybe say, could be better if I would be a veterinarian. But then I realized that, well, but maybe more than a veterinarian. So I had a lot of thoughts at my mind trying to find my own way, because every time that I thought that maybe I finally found my finally ideal career, something happened and I dismissed it. So my last question was, maybe I could be a doctor, because, well, as a doctor you can go to everywhere, or you can be at every part of the world, and you can help to the people. You can help. You can know all about your body or that kind of things. I love science classes in my high school. When I was in high school, I loved science classes. So, okay, maybe I could be a doctor. But once I saw injured person and I saw a lot of blood, so I realized that I have a lot of fear to the blood. So, okay, that's the worst option in the world to do. And also, I felt so bad about about that person, and also about his family, because they were suffering a lot. So I cannot support that. So my final decision is, yes, I will be a scientist, because as a scientist you could do all the things that I thought in that moment. I can go. You can go to the lab. You can go to the outdoors. You can be a lot of things, and all the things that I like at the end was in science. So I decided to be a scientist, like the girl, like you can see there. Also, even if with these creepy hairs, but there's a lot of kind of scientists. But I decided to be a biologist. So there's many types of biologists also. You can be a biology of plants. You can start to study plants, or you can be a zoologist. You can be a paleontologist. You can find dinosaurs and that kind of things. You can be a microbiologist, try to study bacteria, it's like the lab. Maybe you want to know more about some diseases. And there's a lab biologist and outside or outdoors biologist. So, well, I like the freedom. I like to be all the time in nature. So I decided to be the outside biologist. So, well, I focused on zoologist, and when in this career, or in my when I started to the university, I realized that that was the best decision that I ever done. So at the end of the first day at the university, I decided that biology is the thing that I want to do the rest of my life. So for me, that was so grateful to find the thing that I really loved. And well, that's me. I am at the top of the mountains. I have the fortune to know a lot of mountains here in Mexico. So for me, that's so amazing experience. But also, I had the opportunity to share all the things that I know now. So I have been involved in many projects that we can share the importance of conservation and get a better world, sustainable world. And we are in many activities as science fairs, on many events that we need to share the knowledge about conservation. But also, I realized that we have to be involved in the solutions in a lot of problems in the world, as hunger issues. So I had the opportunity also to improve some kind of jars with food in some schools with some girls in our remote communities. So in these activities, I found that we have to do a lot of work trying to share the importance to be part of the solution, and also the importance to increase the interest in girls and boys also in STEM careers, in science, in engineering, math, that careers that for many people, for a lot of people, that could be a boring careers or expensive careers. So in those activities, we found that it's important to increase the interest in these fields. So through this path, I decided to get a master's degree focused on arid ecosystem management, focus on social ecological issues with endangered species. And why in arid ecosystems management? Because I realized that for many people, the desert is the worst place in the earth. So when you go to the forest, everybody says something like, oh, that's nice, it's forest, there's a lot of trees, and there's a lot of animals. Or you can go to the jungle, and it's amazing, there's all is green, all have a lot of vegetation and that kind of things. But when you go to the desert, or when you go to the arid places, the people usually think, no, there's nothing there, or there's nothing to see here, or there's not an important place. So in my master degree, I tried to bring in this importance to the people in the arid places. And well, after that, I get a PhD in biological science, also regarding conflict with some animals, endangered animals, mainly like jaguars. So, by the way, today is International Jaguar Day. So this is the first year that we have International Jaguar Day. So many NGOs are getting in this to get this, and we are so happy because finally we have an international day to celebrate the jaguars and the conservation for jaguars. So when I was doing my PhD, I was trying to find some answers about the conflict with jaguars. So I had to speak with all the people in the place that jaguar lives to try to find what is the problem with them, why they don't like it, or they like it but they don't want to be close of their homes and that kind of things. And well, we have to find the places where jaguars were living, and we have to set some cam traps that we are so sensitive with movement, and every time that every animal can go front of them, you can take a photo. So I have a lot of photos about very different animals. And well, but this not sound easy, or it's not so easy like it seems, because probably, oh, you only go to the place and put your cameras. Not, you have sometimes have to eat in the middle of nothing, or in the middle of the forest, or in the middle of, depends the place where you are, and not all the time are you dry. So depends. You all gonna be dirty all the time. So for me, this is so funny, because since I was a child, all my life had been so dirty. So well, this is like my perfect job, being dirty all the time. But if you like to be more with high heels or something like that, well, maybe this is not the job for you. But if you like to be in the mud all the time, well, this could be an option. So at the end, you can find, you can get photos like this. This is one of those photos. Sometimes you have thousands of photos of nothing, or just wind, or just some birds or whatever. But well, you can find photos like this. This is some animals. Where, this is like a very common animal here in the south of Mexico, in the forest. Here.
I would like to interrupt to see if any of our interactive sites can name what animal this is.
Yeah, this is called Nasua narica.
Okay, so does anybody know the common name at our interactive sites?
Yeah, common name here in Mexico, it calls tejon. In Mexico.
Anybody recognize that animal?
What is it?
Oh.
No.
Anybody at Windsor High?
A cat.
Is it a type of cat?
Well, it's a little bit bigger than a cat, but no, it's not a cat.
Good try. What about H Conley? It looks like you guys might have an answer. Do you know what that animal is?
They're saying possum potentially?
A possum.
No, it's not a possum.
Yeah.
It's like it's more like a raccoon, but it's not like raccoon. Its name is coati. So you repeat after me, coati.
Coati.
There you go.
Coati, perfect.
Excellent.
This is the common name here in Mexico. It's a coati. This animal wants to. This animal all the time are with their family. So this very familiar animal. So all the photos about these animals, you're gonna find many of them in the photos. So this is just an example about the coati. So when I ask you which animal I show you in the slides, you're gonna say coati, of course. So let's continue. Just as and also, well, we are involved, or we are trying to involve to the people in the Jaguar conservation in many events, as this of you can see at the this was part of first Jaguar Day that we realized, and I didn't remember in 2000, 5 years ago. Yeah, no, 4 years ago. 4 years ago was the first Jaguar Day that I made this event in Querétaro. Querétaro is in a state in the middle of Mexico, so nobody wants to believe that we have jaguars in this place, but we have jaguars also in these places. So this was our first Jaguar Day. And in these events, well, we have a lot of interest in the conservation of jaguars. So at the end, with all the information, with the photos, with all the information, with these talks with the people, with information about all the information that we get also from institutions, official institutions about jaguars, we can we prepared a map that we use to some decisions to that we show the correct people that make decisions. So at the end, all the information that you could get, you can use to make decisions. In the map, we show where is the hotspot conflict, the darkest place, is the place that we have the strong conflict, and we have to increase the efforts here in this place. Not all the places have problems, but just in this place we have to increase. So this information helps to the people how we can make more effective the funds that you can get, because for conservation sometimes there's not a lot of money, so we have to find the best way to improve these funds. So this is very quickly part of my journey, and now I'm doing another kind of things, but so related in this monitoring biodiversity and many things. So go for questions.
Excellent. Yes, perfect timing. So right now, let's go over to our interactive sites for some questions. So again, Violeta is coming to us live from Mexico. So those of you who are watching the live stream, she is a biologist that uses trap cameras to kind of look at the behavior and the locations of the jaguar in particular. But of course, she can get a lot of other animals like the coati that we just learned about. And so working with the communities there to help them to realize these animals are in their backyard and they do need their protection. And like Violeta so wonderfully told us, it is the first ever National Jaguar Day. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah. So let's head over to our friends at Love a Sea Turtle at H Conley High School in Greenville, North Carolina. What questions do you have for Violeta?
What does the jaguar usually do?
What?
What does the jaguar usually do? Was that your question?
Translate it.
Yeah, because I can hear it so good.
Mr. Mehcad, can you repeat that for us?
She's got it.
Okay, what does the jaguar usually do?
Are you asking about their behaviors?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
so Violeta, could you tell us a little bit more about jaguars' behaviors? What exactly are they doing there in the forests in Mexico?
Well, jaguars are the biggest cats in the continent, and as many cats, they are so lonely. They don't want to be with a lot of animals or with a lot of another cats. So there's a lonely animal, and they prefer to walk into the forest at the end of the day, in the midnight, because the activity in these places are more calm. And they like to eat a lot. The coatis are their favorite food. So it's so common that if we have some coatis or some deers, they love those animals. So it's probably that if we found those animals, we can find also jaguars. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right. So getting those coatis on the trap camera can possibly even lead to you spotting a jaguar on those.
Yeah, it's common. Not
Excellent.
not in all the places that you can find quatis, you're gonna find jaguars, but it's a part of their food, so it's could be a good place to a jaguar place.
Excellent. All right, let's pop on over to our friends at Mehcad in Charlotte, North Carolina. And just to remind you folks that are viewing the live streams, you can use the chat via YouTube or click on submit questions on STEMExplore.org if you have any questions for our biologist, Violeta. So, Mehcad, do we have any questions for Violeta?
We do have a question. Do you see yourself working in any other region other than Mexico?
Are we working? What's the question?
Do you see yourself working in any other region other than Mexico?
Yes. Well, not outside of Mexico, but in Mexico, I have been in many places. Not outside of Mexico.
Do you think in the future you'd like to work somewhere else in the world?
Probably, it could be. Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. Do we have another question at Mehcad?
We do. We do have another question. How much do you get paid? A year.
How much what?
What is the range of salary each year?
Okay, each year. Well, I have bad news for you. Well, not bad news. No, in Mexico, this career, biology career, it's complicated to get established salary, because not in all the places that you can work you wanna find a good salary. But my first when I get my first official job, I was earning let me remember, was $150 at, no, $200 a month. So so few, because unfortunately here in Mexico we don't have very good salaries, and in science it's a bad situation here. So we are trying to increase the interest of our government that we can get a better payments. But now I have a better salary, of course, because I have more experience. I have been involved in other projects, in other experience that get me more experience that I can sell, for say as a way. And now I'm earning 10 times more than that. So that is the range. Here in Mexico, we don't have established salaries. So that is the thing. It's complicated to find, because you can find a bad, excellent payments, or you can find so low payments. So that is at this percentage.
And I think something important for people to keep in mind, and this kind of goes across the board for the biological fields, that typically the biological fields, oddly enough, starting off, don't pay very well. And typically you have to volunteer somewhere or find an internship somewhere. And a lot of times with the biological fields, internships are unpaid. But fortunately, there are a lot of groups that provide scholarships for students and fellowships for students, so you can have money to live on while you're trying to get your experience. But then also it depends on what kind of company do you end up working for. Are you working for a nonprofit? Those fields tend to be a little bit harder to work for. And on soft money, we say it, because they're usually funded by either a private donor or just donations in general, or by grants. And so biological fields are really interesting. They're definitely a sign of the passion of the people behind the jobs, because you typically do have to work very, very hard to prove yourself, to get experience, without being paid a whole lot. I know that's what nobody wants to hear. We all want great salaries, but typically in the biological fields, people are doing it for the passion of it, and they really love their work and love what they do.
Yeah, that's right. I think that the best payment that you can get is the satisfaction that you are doing a good thing for the world. Yeah.
That is wonderful.
If you're waiting for something bigger, maybe you can think about it twice.
Excellent. All right, let's pop over to our friends with the YWCA in Hartford, Connecticut at Windsor High. Do we have a question out there at Windsor High for Violeta?
You have questions? Maybe not.
And that's okay. I know Windsor High, I believe they're having a little bit of technical issues. So Windsor High, if you can hear us, you can go ahead and even type in your questions into the chat field. Ooh, I think we have a question coming.
Yeah.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Does your line of work pose any physical threat to you? Like,
Okay.
are you ever like
Yeah, United Bank isn't easy to work with.
that you're gonna get hurt?
Okay,
did-
so somebody else was speaking through the microphone. So let's see, we're trying to hear that. I think your question was, and give me a thumbs up if I'm correct, was your question, does your work pose any physical threats? Now, I know Violeta told us about, is that a thumbs up? Yes. I know she told us about how she gets dirty, but she likes to get dirty in her job. So does your work pose any physical threats?
Yes, in this job, you have a lot of physical threats. So you have to be all the time aware about the place that you are, you have to be aware about the things that you are carrying on, because you have to prepare enough food, enough water, because or a small bag with some pills or something that you can help to be safe in the field work. So fortunately, I never get an injury or something in field, and hopefully never happened, because we're usually to prevent all that kind of situations. First of all, we have to check the place that we are going, what kind of place it is, the weather. Also, we have to be aware about that. So it's not a job that you can get a lot of injuries if you are prepared. So if you are prepared and you are aware about the situations there, you are going to be safe all the time. And also it's important to know that you never gonna have to go alone to the field. Never try to be with some friend or with your team. It's very common that the people with more injuries in field is people that usually go alone. So my best advice for that is you all the time have to be in pairs or with your team.
Excellent. Safety in numbers. We do have another question that came in from our friends at H Conley High School with Love a Sea Turtle. What is the coolest thing you've seen in your field?
Once I saw very just new boring, and this some weeks ago, new boring quati, just like that was a little bit exciting. I think that the coolest thing that I ever seen has been the landscapes that I have the opportunity to see when I go to a new place. All the time, it's very nice to find an animals or find these things, but when you are in the top of the place, that you can see all the nature that surrounds you. For me, that was one of the coolest things that you can see. Yeah, I can hear you, Casey.
Thank you. Thank you. Those were great questions, everyone. We're going to come back and do another round of questions from our interactive sites. And we do have some questions actually coming in from our YouTube stream. But Violeta, I want to make sure that you wrap up your presentation about your career. We have about 5 minutes remaining before we can go to questions again. So let's go ahead and continue on your journey, Violeta.
Okay, perfect. So the thing that I wanted to show you and answer is that if we can we do science out of the life or out of the lab? Because as I was saying at the beginning, people usually think that science is only thing for labs, or you can do all the time only in a lab. So no, you can do science everywhere where you want to go, or you can do science now. Are you sitting in your classroom and you can do science in that moment? But well, fortunately, we can do science everywhere. So this is part of our work when I was doing my master degree with some very, very good friends that I missed a lot, and we are checking some plants in a desert. So you can find science, and that is one of the things that we doing now. You can do science in the rivers, in the small ponds. So you can do science everywhere. So you can find a lot of things near of you. So you can find footprints near your favorite park, and you are doing science in that place. And go to your favorite park and try to count how many different birds you can find, and you are doing science. So it's very, very simple doing science everywhere. So, but how can we do science and have fun at the same time? Because usually people think, oh, I have to study a lot to be a good scientist, and maybe that could be a little bit boring. No. So I could say that science is the most funny thing that you can do, because you all the time are trying to find some answers for everything that you want. And well, we found, fortunately, all the things that we do now are full of fun. So now we are doing some water quality monitoring, and we are involved some girls, teenagers, that we are so interested in the river, and they spent a lot of time with us, and you can see there, so fun. And now I'm working in a mine, a gold mine, and in this place we are so worried about three issues, basically: water quality monitoring, environmental awareness with the communities are near of us, and we have also an open house program where we can show to the people what's meaning, what we're doing, and how we are so concerned about the environment. So we are doing this. I'm involved in these projects now in a mine, and well, this is part of the activities that we are doing. We are involving community people that doing these activities, because we are so concerned that they know how to do the things, because when you only show them, maybe they cannot believe you, but if they're doing, it's more positive for them, because they start to understand how the thing works, and they can explain to other people what are we doing. So they are doing this. We invite all the people in the communities to participate in our awareness events, our environmental awareness events. And in this open house program, we invite to the nearest communities to visit the mine, and we explain the operation. We explain all the security rules that we have, because we are so interested that people know that we are a safe enterprise, and they have the opportunity to know to know how the size of the machines, or where their parents work or that kind of things, because usually our visitors are relatives or our workers. So for us, this is so important because we show them also what the enterprise do to for the community, and also our compromise with the environment. So we cannot to operate this place without all these things, with all this awareness, and this is part of my team responsibility. Enterprise. I lost the social responsibility team here in the mine, and we are a very multidisciplinary team with engineers, lawyers, psychologists, biologists, geologists. So we have a lot of STEAM careers working here, and it's so grateful to find a place that you can work doing doing the thing that you love, and also trying to get a better practices in this place. So this is the thing that I am doing now, and I'm so happy to do. And now, remember the question about salary. Now I earn better. So I'm so happy for doing.
Great. Thank you so much, Violeta. You took us from jaguars and cooties and trap cameras all the way into the gold mines. But I think your message of using biology not only as the hard science itself, but then communicating with those communities that you're working in to show them this is exactly what's happening, and you need to understand what's going on or who's living in your backyard. And I think that's extremely important for scientists and engineers and biologists and geologists to do, to really educate those folks in the communities that you're working in. That's so wonderful. Yeah. So let's head over, and we're going to wrap things up with a last round of questions. So just the interactive sites, just so you know, we're going to go to H Conley, then to Mehcad, and then to Windsor High. But while we're waiting for H Conley to queue up one question out there, we do have a question coming in from YouTube for you, Violeta. And that is, do you think the career of biology is a career of the future? Do you think there will be more biologists coming online as these students that we're connecting with grow older and go into college and into their professional careers?
I think that the biology is not only the future career, it's the present career. We have to start to solve the problems now, because we are getting more people in the world, so we have to improve more. We have to discover. We have to do more things about our environment. So yes, I think that all environmental science are the future and present careers. So if you are thinking in doing something about this, it's going to be a great choice.
Great. Thank you so much. So let's head over to Love a Sea Turtle at H Conley High School. Do we have another question for Violeta?
Yeah.
What kind of tools do y'all use?
What kind of tools do you use?
Tools.
Great.
Yes, tools. Oh, depends the thing that you're going to do, because usually in this biodiversity monitoring, the thing that we only use is these small cam traps that depends the number of you want to carry on, and you have to you're gonna use these cam traps, and also we use a lotion, the Calvin Klein lotion that Jaguar loves. We add this lotion in the near of the cameras when we want to attract the jaguars, because they love this place. So in our backpack, we also have to carry to get this lotion with us, but all depends about the work that you are gonna doing, because bird watchers get their own binoculars or nets to trap some birds or some bats also. So it depends the things that you're gonna use, but the only thing that the only tools that you're gonna need are all your sense, your 5 sense, because you have to be so attent where happening near. And if you are doing some water quality monitoring, also you're gonna have more. You're gonna have to use more crystal things, or maybe a microscope or that kind of things. But the mainly tools that you need are your sense, all your sense.
That is an excellent answer. I've never heard a scientist say that. You need your 5 senses. That's the most important tool you need. That is really great. And you gave us a great example too of some of the tools that you use that you share with the community. You actually bring the community in for those on-site visits, and they get to see all the machinery that they use in the gold mine. So that's pretty cool. Excellent question. All right, let's pop over to our friends at Mehcad. What is your last question for Violeta? Violeta.
What animal belonged to the skeleton that you showed? What kind of bird?
Great question. What animal? We're going to bring that slide up. Which animal does this skeleton belong to?
Okay. Wait me a second. Which is a buzzard? With me. Oh, yeah. I was trying to find the slide that with me. That's a buzzard skeleton.
Can you say that again, Violeta?
What?
Can you repeat that? What animal does that belong to?
Buzzard. I don't know if you remember the Dumbo movie. These birds.
Oh, is it a vulture?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. That's pretty cool. And good observation skills out there at Mehcad to see that skeleton. All right. Great question. Let's pop on over one last time to Windsor High School with the YWCA. Do you have one last question for Violeta? Buzzard or a vulture? That was the skeleton.
Yeah. Vulture.
And Windsor High, you are good.
It's a kind of vulture.
We're here.
Perfect.
We have a question. Why don't you come talk here?
Oh, can you hear me?
Can you hear
Yeah,
us?
go ahead. Say that again.
Okay, I wanted to ask if there was room to expand in your field of work. Like, is there room to like grow to like different positions?
Oh, great question. So is there room to expand in what you're currently doing? Is there room for you to expand in your current field? Can you say, is there a ladder to climb? Are there other positions that you might be able to pursue in your career? And I think, Violeta, you already showed us an example of working with the Jaguars and the trap cams, and then also shifting over to work in the gold mines. But with what you're doing currently, is there room to grow?
Depends the area you are working, but I have to say that now you're talking about the position in my job. Are you talking about?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm I'm superintendent in this gold mine of social environmental issues. So it's kind of a level like one level under manager. So that's a place that I'm rolling now here.
Excellent. And so, yeah, typically there are a hierarchy of positions that you definitely can shift and move up. And like she said, increase your pay a little bit more as well. All right. Well, wonderful questions, everyone. Thank you all so much. Now, I, of course, want to thank all of our interactive sites that have tuned in today. But, of course, I want to thank everybody who's watching out there live on EarthEcho's YouTube channel, but as well as our STEMExplore.org website. And a huge thank you to our special guest and our STEMExplore mentor, Violeta, all the way from Mexico. So Violeta, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story as well as your career and your passion. And I would also like to remind you that you can follow along Violeta's adventures. You can follow her on Twitter. And also Violeta is part of the Fab Fem STEMS community, and you can check out her profile there, as well as meet other amazing women that are in STEM careers. So I'd also like to thank all the STEMExplore partner sites that have tuned in today, especially those interactive sites out there at H Conley High School with Love a Sea Turtle, Windsor High School with the YWCA in Hartford, Connecticut, and CMS with Mehcad in Charlotte, North Carolina. Great questions, everyone. EarthEcho has some exciting opportunities coming up, and one of them is a mini grant contest that you can enter. Expedition Water by Design explores the issues of water scarcity and drought through free innovative resources. And you all can enter to win a $500 mini grant for your classroom by submitting your stories of students exploring engineering design around water resource management or developing your own water conservation or restoration projects. For more information on that contest, you have plenty of time to enter. Visit earthecho.org. And be sure to visit, to tune in to our upcoming virtual field trips. STEMExplore will continue tonight, actually, to bring you relatable voices in STEM careers. We will continue tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern with an engineer named Shivanti Archer. Shivanti will speak to us about her renewable energy, such as solar and wind power that she works with the Florida Power and Light Company in Florida here in the United States. And we will also continue with STEMExplore on December 5th when we speak with Patricia Delcourt. She is a mechanical engineer with our friends at Xylem Incorporated, and she will share her career and interests with solving water because every drop counts, both at 3 p.m. Eastern and 6:30 p.m. Eastern on December 5th. Then, on December 6th, we will speak with Marissa Wyrick. She is an engineer with the Society of Women Engineers, and she will share her story at both 3 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, December 6th. So we hope you tune in and join us. For more information and to register for these exciting virtual field trips, please visit STEMExplore.org. You can click on the live events cabinet or the virtual field trip tabs on the left, and that will get you to the right place. Again, you can follow along EarthEcho's adventures with all of our exciting programs on our social media channels, as well as our websites. So thank you again to our wonderful STEMExplore mentor, Violeta, and thank you so much to our sponsor, United Technologies, for their tremendous support. So on behalf of EarthEcho International, thank you everyone for joining us today, and keep exploring.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.